All praises. All praises. Back for another Shabbat class. First of all, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh. And we do so in the name of Yahweh Shai. That's the name of the Heavenly Father. And through the Son, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Right? Back for another Sabbath class. I got a few quick hits on quick Christian doctrine. And then I want to talk about this fog. Right? We got this fog. We're going to talk about the fog first. Now, we know Esau messing with the weather. We seen the snow the last couple years and how the snow look like. It ain't snow, right? So we got all this fake snow, right? It ain't now we waking up the fog, but the fog ain't gone. It's the middle of the day, it's still foggy. It look like a Halloween movie, right? So we got all this fog outside, right? And we know where it's coming from, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You got to be living under a rock. You got to be not paying attention to the world around you, not knowing where this fall came from, right? And they trying to mess with people's health, right? But who trying to mess with people's health? Give me Job chapter 9 verse 24, right? Because we ain't finna act like we don't know what's going on. We know what's going on, right? And we know who it's coming from. In Job chapter 9, verse 24. It's Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? And he covered the faces of the judges. The biggest judges, Yahweh Shai, who people call Christ. And we the other judges. He changed the whole color of the whole Israelites, right? Changed what they look like. But this Esau, right? And if he ain't the devil, then where and who is he, right? Who else messing up the earth? Who else messing up the water? Who else messing up the food, right? Who else building prison so he can lock you in them? The devil, right? And if it ain't him, then where and who is he, right? So he messing with the air quality, right? I don't even have respiratory issues, and I got a little something going on. So Esau messing with some stuff, right? So we got Esau doing it, right? So we ain't finna be ignorant of that, right? Give me Revelations 11 and 18. Let's see what the Bible say the Most High gonna, because everything got a judgment, right? You don't think Esau gonna get paid back for messing with this weather, thinking he God, thinking he could change the weather, right? This is Revelations 11 and 18. And it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, the time of the dead, and they shall judge, that thou shouldest give a reward to thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear his name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroys the earth, right? We gonna get redeemed, but the Most High gonna destroy them which destroys the earth. Who is that? We already know the earth given to the hands of the wicked. That's who destroying the earth, right? He'll cut down a forest, right? He'll fish out the water until there ain't no more fish there, and then creates a fake fish, right? He says, small and great, and should destroy us, and should it destroy us them which destroy the earth. That's Esau. The Most High gonna destroy him for that. He ain't just gonna fog up your air, got chemicals like it's an aerosol can, all you breathing it in, right? And he ain't just gonna get away with that. And Esau so wicked, he poisoning his own poor white people with us. He said, hey, I can't pinpoint them, so let's just poison everybody, right? Let's poison everybody. Them that destroy us the earth. Give me 2 Corinthians 2 and 10. Is it 2 and 10? No, 2 and 11. This 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. It said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We can't be sitting around here acting like, oh, chemtrails don't exist. White man ain't do that. It's a good white man. We ain't doing it. We're not ignorant of his devices. We know what he doing. And that's why you should be having trying to do counter that, right? Make sure your water is being filtered, right? If you need to, filter your air, right? Clean your diet up a little bit, right? But one more time, this 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We ain't finna sit here in dumb land, right? Acting like we don't know or see what's going on. We know and see what's going on. And give me 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, right? 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. One second, John. All right. This 2 Ezra 6 and 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that follow." Because that's why Esau doing it. Esau see his kingdom falling, right? And he know that, well, we know that our kingdom comes after his, and he see his kingdom crumbling. And that's why he's doing this. Give me Revelations 12 and 12. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning that follow it. The Esau knows his kingdom is finna crumble. So he trying to take as many down with him. He trying to prolong it. And if it ain't prolonged, he trying to blow the whole thing up, right? This Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the seal, of the seal, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath. Check this out, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He know this finna come to an end. So he finna unleash all his plans. And guess who the guinea pigs is? Me and you, right? And that's why we can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. So I just wanted to touch on all that smoke that's in the air. And, it look like Snoop Dogg been outside all night, right? And we wake up and it don't go nowhere, right? That ain't Snoop Dogg, that's Esau, right? So I want to touch on that fog. If you can, stay inside. If you ain't got to be out there, right? Try to be out there as little as possible, right? Don't try to stand. I feel sorry for the brothers and sisters that work outside, got a forestry job or a park job or something, to work in construction, and you just outside and you are subject to the elements. You know what I'm saying? But may the Most High cover them, brothers and sisters. So I wanted to touch on the fog. That was my one thing, and then I got a couple quick hits, right, for some Christian doctrine, right? So as we went over last week, if a Christian go to these verses, they will have a Hebrew Israelite looking stupid, right? And this is why you got to go to their verses, because they got the same playbook. They go to the same couple of scriptures, and they gonna make it seem like God love everybody, or the law is done away with, or whatever the doctrine is, the Christian doctrine is. They gonna make it seem like that with their verse. And what you gonna have to know how to do is how to cut those verses, right? Give me Ephesians chapter 3, verse 3. Let's start with this. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 3. All right, let's read. It says, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, for I wrote afore in the few words, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ, which in other ages was not made known unto the Son of Man, as it is now revealed unto the holy apostles and the prophets by the Spirit, that the Gentiles may be fellow heirs of the same body and partakers of his promise in Christ by the gospel. So they're going to go here and say, hey, verse 6 said the Gentiles going to be fellow heirs. A fellow heir meaning what? Equal, right? If they fellow heirs with us, that means they get the same promises what we get. They the princes. They're the princes, fellow heirs, right? Let's see who these Gentile fellow heirs is, because if these are, let's say, heathens, Hamites and Edomites, then there's a contradiction in the Bible. But we make this whole Bible run concurrently, like congruently. It all flows together, right? And we don't break scriptures over here. So let's see what this verse is talking about. The Gentiles that should be made fellow heirs of the same body and partakers of the promise in Christ by the gospel. First of all, let me get who the promise is. Give me Romans 9 and 4. Let's get who the promises is for. I get it out of the New Testament. I could go to Genesis 12 or Genesis 17, but let's get it right here. This Romans 9 and 4. Give me Romans 9 and 3. This Romans 9, chapter 9, verse 3. For I wish myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. So this ain't a spiritual Israelite, and if you believe you no longer a white boy no more, you a nigga from Detroit. That ain't how this works, right? It says, my brethren, my kinsmen, my kinfolk, according to the flesh, not according to the spirit, according to flesh and blood. Verse 4, who are Israelites, to who pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the services of God and the promises. So the promises of God are for the Israelites. Those who are going to be the fellow heirs. But let's go through the Bible and do it. Give me Matthew 19 and 28. Matthew chapter 19, verse 28. Let's see if there's equality, right, with the children of Israel in the kingdom of heaven. Let's see who those Gentiles that's going to be fellow heirs, right? This is Matthew 9 and 28. And Jesus said, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory, ye shall also, it says, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Stop. If those Gentiles are fellow heirs, why can't they be included in these 12 thrones that's judging the 12 tribes of Israel? Why is all these only Israelites? I thought they were fellow heirs and they get what we get. Why they can't be in this? Right? This is only Israelites judging the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That's a cut, right? Let me get another cut. Give me Revelation chapter 7 and verse 4. Revelation, we talking about, they talking like a heathen is going to be equal with a child of God. This Revelation 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144 and 4,000 of all the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. If they fellow heirs, where they at in here? I don't see the Gentiles that are fellow, it don't say that. Those fellow heirs got to be Israelites, what you would call a Gentile Israelite, right? Israelites that were disconnected from the covenant, but now they can come back. Those are those Gentiles. No dang on heathen, right? So let's get some more. Let's get some more. Give me Revelations 11 and 1. Check this out. Fellow heirs. That means equality, right? This Revelations 11 and 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and them that worship therein. So there's a prophecy about the angel measuring the temple of God. Verse 2. In the court which is without the temple, leave out. So measure everything, but don't measure the outer court. Leave that outside the measurements. Why? And measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, in the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. So the Gentiles don't even get the temple, the king. How they fellow heirs and they can't go in the temple like that? They got the outer court, that's for them. The outside little part, right? That don't sound equal. That don't sound like fellow heirs. The only people that's getting the fellow heirs are the children of Israel, who the promises is for, right? Give me Hebrews 8 and 8. All right. Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. This is the new covenant. Why they ain't right here? This Hebrews 8 and 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the day has come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Hey, that's the northern and southern kingdom. Hey, where these heathens that are becoming fellow heirs with us? You can't say, oh, this is a spiritual Jew. Next verse cuts you. Not according to the covenant I made with their fathers. We're still talking about flesh and blood Israelites. So where are these heathens that converted and became fellow heirs according to the promise? This is how they're going to talk to you. The Gentiles that were that believed, that were converted, that believed in the promises, became fellow heirs under Christ. They're going to tell you something like that and look at you and say, see, you don't understand. Meanwhile, they don't understand that what their belief is nowhere in the Bible. The Bible doesn't teach. Paul never taught what they're teaching. Paul never taught somebody can drop their nationality and become another one. Paul never taught that. Paul never taught that you can eat pork on Christmas Day. Paul never taught that, right? But they will go to Paul and try to make them teach that, right? And you just got to be on your P's and Q's, cross your T's, dot your I's, right? Be covered, and you got to study these scriptures. If you don't study these scriptures, you're going to get caught out there, and they're going to knock your head off. They're going to have you looking stupid. You're going to be questioning whether the truth is the truth. People done fell out the truth because they couldn't answer a question. Oh, I can't answer that question, and then put the truth down, right? So don't get caught out there with your neck out, all proud. Oh, we got the truth, and you ain't studying. And they come and they hit you with the 1-2, and you don't know what to do, right? So fellow heirs, this is how you cut that, right? Give me Romans 3 and 1. It's Romans 3 and 1. It says, what advantage then have the Jew? Or what profit is of circumcision? Hey, how Israelite better? Verse 3. Much in every way, chiefly because unto them were committed the oracles of God. So the oracles of God were committed unto the Israelites, not a heathen. There ain't no equality in that, right? It said we the best in every way, chiefly or above all, because we was us committed to oracles of God. There's no equality nowhere in this Bible. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. There's no equality nowhere in this book, right? It's Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God, Yahweh, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. There's no equality in that. There's none, right? Give me Isaiah 14 and 1. There's no equality in this book. The only fellow heirs or Israelites that went off, and they can come back now, right? Through Yahweh Shai, redeeming them, they can come back. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. And the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined unto them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Already there ain't no equality. Verse 2. And it's kingdom condensation. It's talking about the kingdom of heaven. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them. If someone is possessing somebody else, how are they equal? Even just using the analogy with us in slavery. If you go back to them, you're telling me, under your understanding, the slave master and the slave were equal? No. One had control of the other. That's not equality, right? That's subjugation, right? Subservient, right? Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's not equality, right? Now give me the gospel. Give me Isaiah 61. And I think I need verse 5, right? Let's see in the gospel. Is it even equality in the gospel? This is Isaiah 61, verse 5. And strangers shall stand and feed your flock, And the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen and vine dressers. So the strangers and non-Israelites, they're going to be in the field working. Verse 6. But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord Yahweh. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. That don't sound like equality even in the gospel, right? So it ain't no equality in this book. Those fellow heirs that's mentioned in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 3 through 6, those are Israelites, right? It's point blank and period. The whole New Testament is written to the Israelites. The whole Old Testament and the Apocrypha is written for the Israelites, written by the Israelites to the Israelites for the Israelites. It's an Israelite book. Christ was an Israelite. All the disciples were Israelites that followed Israelite. All the prophets in the Old Testament were Israelites. You know, this just Israelites talking to Israelites, just Israelites, right? And that's what it is, y'all. You can't get around it. All right, so once we clear that up. So if they try to hit them with one of them verses, somebody try to say, "Oh, fellow heirs, according to Jesus Christ, for the believers through faith," if they try to pull that, cut their head off. Don't even play with them, right? Give me Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. Let's go to another one. Christians go here. Here go to the Trinity doctrine. They go here. If you don't know how to break this down, you're gonna be looking stupid. All right, this Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. It says, "For unto us a child is born." Now, so this is a whole nother point, y'all. I concluded the Ephesians 3 and 6, the fellow heirs. This is a whole nother Christian point, right? This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulders. His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. Right? So they're going to go to this verse with the Trinity and say, see, Jesus the Father. Because this verse is talking about Yahweh. So they're going to say, see, he the Father. Right? And the Revelation say, I'm Alpha and Omega, beginning and end. Let's go to Revelations. Revelation chapter 1. I forget the verse. We're going to come right back here. But the same point is being made. I can cut both, not cut both of them, give the understanding to both in one at one time. Scroll down, I believe it's like verse 11. 8. All right. It says, is it said Alpha and Omega, the first and the last? I'm gonna read both of them. This is verse 8. I am Alpha is red letter. I am Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega, this means beginning and like first and last, basically. I'm Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Scroll down to verse 11. And I am Alpha and Omega, first and last. What thou seest, write us in a book, send it into the 7 churches, which are in Asia, Ephesus, Siminar, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea, right? So boom. Though you think, dang, why is he calling himself the Alpha and Omega? First of all, this is the easier one to cut. It says, I'm the first and the last, Alpha and Omega, right? And I agree, he is the first creation of God, but it says the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Does God have a beginning? Anybody come off mic? Does God have a beginning?
No.
He created time.
No.
Right? He created time. How is he subject to time? He created it. He has no beginning. He created the beginning. Right? He's not subject to one of his creations. So no, God has no beginning, but Christ does. Right? But let's go back to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. Let's read it one more time and then let's get into the breakdown. All right, this Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, right? So that's Christ, right? Unto us a son is given. The government shall be on the soldiers. Let me prove that real quick. Go to Matthew chapter 2, verse 6. The government shall be on his shoulders. Just Matthew chapter 2, verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, or not thou the least in among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. So that he's the governor of the government, right? Go back to Isaiah 9 and 6. Got you jumping around. All right. For unto us a child is born, and a son is given, and government shall be up on his shoulders, right? And his name shall be called Wonderful, the Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Now let's examine this real quick. It says the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So he can't be the Father and the Prince at the same time, right? So this is a figure of speech, right? So let's zoom in. I'm not on the Prince of Peace, on the Everlasting Father. Let's key in on that part, right? The Everlasting Father, right? And what it really means is Christ is going to be like an everlasting Father unto the Israelites, right? That's literally what it means. But let me prove it. Give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 22, verse 20. Watch this. See, a lot of people don't know how the Bible is written and the words that are used in the Bible, so they jump out the window with conclusions, right? And this is why precept must be up on precept. This, give me verse 19. Hold on. Isaiah 22 and 20. Okay, I got. Let's see here. Yeah. 22 and 20. So it says, and it shall, yeah, I can read 22 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Helekah. But it's talking about Eliakim, right? Right? It's talking about Eliakim. Verse 21. And I will clothe him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle. And I will commit thy government unto his hands, and he shall be a father unto the inhabitants of Jerusalem and the house of Judah. Ain't this how the last verse just read? But this ain't talking about Yahushua. It's talking about Eliakim. Let's read it one more time. Now, this is Eliakim being called the father of the Israelites. But the only difference with Christ is when the government is on his shoulders, he ain't going to just be called the father. He's going to be called the everlasting father, just like this brother is called the father. Even in the New Testament, Paul is called Timothy's dad or father, right? That's just the speech of the Israelite. It don't mean you the father in heaven, right? It's like you're a dad. You're like a dad to the nation of Israel. But let's read it one more time. This verse 20, Isaiah 22 and 20, right? And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah. I'm bad with names, y'all. Right? But it's Eliakim who we talking about. Verse 21. And I will clothe him with thy robe, and I will strengthen him with thy girdle. And I will commit thy government into his hands, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. And the only difference with this and the other verse is it said everlasting. And this one just says father. But Christ would be everlasting, right? He wouldn't be like a regular person, right? And everlasting doesn't mean you don't have a beginning. It means like you were in the beginning up until now. But that's the understanding. You probably, like a person that's with the Trinity, probably don't like this verse right here. They probably don't like this verse, right? Give me Job chapter 29 and verse 16. Yeah, a person that believes in a virgin birth, or I mean, not the virgin birth, a person that believes in a Trinity probably don't like that Isaiah 20 and 22, 22 and 21. But this is Job chapter 29 verse, Job chapter 29 verse 16. I was a father to the poor, and I will cause which I knew not to, and the cause which I knew not I searched out. And the cause which I knew not, I searched out. But it said that I was a father to the poor. You know, he's talking about the poor of Israel. He was a father to them. It's many people that are likened to the father of Israel that are not Yahweh, right? And that's my understanding. Y'all don't get caught out there with y'all head out and somebody clock you and you don't know how to deal with these verses. And the original thing, y'all stay out from outside if y'all ain't got to be out there breathing in all these chemicals, right? And with that, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh. And I do so in the name of Yahweh Shai, Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yashala.
Yeah. I'm waiting on Punky.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwame Yashala, baby. And I was talking about the end of recording. I got this oil dripping.